All right, welcome back. The conversation still ongoing here. All eyes are on the mountain today. And not too long from now, we'll be joined by Kioria to give us a feel, sights and sounds, what's happening in Ghana. All right, so stick around for that. Still having this discussion here, Hamisi, Dr. Rotich says that the president should keep away from campaigning for any preferred candidate. Is that even possible?
My take, my brother, is I like to comment my friend Dr.Jittery, and maybe after this meeting, he should come to Mombasa to But my point is that my take is that there are so many angles on this issue. On the meeting of today, on the meeting that will come for the NDC, and also the future of the political. And when we talk about the president, and the Constitution talks about the presidency, let's also open the discussion. If the president is going to take, how about the deputy president? Has he taken sides? Is he campaigning? Is he not part of the presidency? So, in politics, all is possible. And this is what we're saying. He has a right to campaign. He has a right to his people. He has a right to talk to all Kenyans at different angles. And he has been requested direction. And he's a leader of a political party that has in the next government. So he's playing a delicate role to play all those roles. So when we say the president, especially with the current constitution, let's talk about the presidency. And the indication is the deputies have been campaigning for the last many months. And the president maybe one or twice has spoken. So if he goes to campaign also for that purpose, is he wrong? In the world, people have been campaigning for this person, whether they're in their party or the preferred candidates, in quite a number of times. And then there's another angle. Suppose this president was having still one term to the presidency. Would he start campaigning, or would he wait until the day that we finish the year before he starts campaigning? So these things are delicate, and when you start and how you start depends on the situation. The current situation is he has been called to make a and he has really strained himself, because he would have started long time ago.
Okay, and it is quite important. I'm just coming back. Why is everybody jittery about the president heading to Sagana tomorrow? Actually, today is in State Lodge in Nyeri meeting delegates, and tomorrow the Sagana 3 will happen. Why the jittery?
I think, Oloo, what we must understand, Oloo, in this scenario, the public is already aware of what is going to be discussed in Sagana 3. And Oloo, even among the Mount Kenya people themselves, you have heard of Rigathi Gachagua, you have heard of Ichung'wah, you have heard of all these guys.
Yes.
That, yes, we are welcoming His Excellency the President to come and be with us, but not to give us the direction on where we should go, because we have already settled on somebody. That was the wordings. So already, even in Mount Kenya itself, it's already divided. Number two, Oloo, when my brother says that the president has every right to do what he is doing, the unique thing that we are observing, Oloo, the president is not actually campaigning for the Jubilee Party as such.
Yes.
He's campaigning for an opposition party leader, which is actually, it has divided first the Jubilee Party itself into UDA and the rest, and then also having this party, Jubilee, that is now remaining, and he's not campaigning for a presidential candidate in his own party. He's campaigning for a presidential candidate in another party.
Yes.
And that is actually what is bringing a lot of eyebrows. People are asking themselves, how is it possible that the president all of a sudden disowned his own deputy, who were in the same party? And of course, you remember, Oloo, the 10 Yanko, that was pronounced by none other than His Excellency the President himself.
Right.
So in this case, by by changing the mind all of a sudden and supporting the opposition, I mean, it is being perceived widely as something that should not have happened.
Okay.
But in this case, it has happened.
Let me ask you, we all know that the president and his deputy never see eye to eye, right?
But why?
The question is, we don't know. We don't know the reason why.
That is why these papers are talking about the spilling the beans. If spilling the beans will be...
But they don't see eye to eye for over 2, 3, 4 years now. They don't, right? So how did you expect the president to campaign for his deputy, yet they don't see eye to eye?
In fact, the most excellent thing that should have been done, Oloo, another person from Jubilee Party should have been proposed to take over the position instead of the deputy himself. I mean, whoever the president would have preferred to inherit him. So what is bringing a lot of eyebrows is where you support the opposition, something that is happening only in African countries. It has never happened elsewhere. So in this case, if it was Jubilee versus ODM or any other coalition outside the current formation of the government, Jubilee, it would have been more sounded that, yes, we had the borderline. Last election, we were, NASA versus Jubilee.
Yes.
In this case, it would not make a huge difference. People would be fighting on the same battle lines.
Okay.
But this battle that is going on now is a different battle altogether.
Yes.
It is a battle which is quite unique in its character because the sitting president is supporting the opposition. Are you seeing?
Yes,
so in this case, now there are those people who are seated with the deputy. They're asking themselves, what became of His Excellency? Especially after we have voted him in 2017. If things had gone wayward before the 2017, then why would the president actually wait until he was elected in and then he changed his mind?
Okay. All right. Hamisi, the deputy president has been campaigning for the last 4 years now. Actually, we are almost getting to the to the polls, and people say that he's been campaigning since 2017. But then, I ask a question here. Now that the president and his deputy never see eye to eye, the president had no choice. So we never expected the president to campaign for his deputy, who actually they parted ways, so to speak. But my question still remain: will the president challenge or actually undo what the deputy president did in the mountain?
Yes and no, because it depends on the situation. It depends on the speed of that undoing. It depends on the mobilization of the people, and I think he has some strategies to be able to do that, and it is possible because of a very short time. What we have seen is a unique scenario. The other dispensation, when President Moi was the deputy for the first president, we never saw this confrontation. And we have never seen the president saying this and the deputy president saying this at the same time, almost an hour after. So that to us is political confrontation, and it has its consequences. And what the consequences in that scenario, and the other scenario is so far he has not pronounced support opposition. As far as I'm concerned, I'm looking from this coastal side. Look at and after making the coalition with the law now allows, that will be supporting the opposition. It is support for agreed as a party. To open up this discussion so that we look at it that like me and many.
All right. It seems that Hamisi has just decided to swim into the ocean. We'll get back to him briefly. Of course, we've lost Hamisi. All right, Hamisi, we are getting back to you shortly, just to rectify that link. Doctor, my question still is, will the president undo what the deputy president did in the mountain?
I think, as my brother has said, Oloo, I think it depends on the current strategy that the president actually and his Jubilee team will come up with. Because already a big damage has been caused. In the sense that Mount Kenya, for you to bring Mount Kenya on board, you need a bigger strategy and the supersonic speed that you will make sure that you touch every region in Mount Kenya within a short time. Because undoing that has been done for the last 4 years, although it is not going to be a very easy job. And already people have taken position in Mount Kenya. There are those who are stuck to UDA, there are those who are still with Jubilee, there are those who may have KANU, there are those who are, people have already taken the position. And undoing these positions that have been taken will be the most difficult task to do. And in this case, it depends entirely on His Excellency the President and those who are within the management or planning team. Because it is not going to be easy. That is my take.
Recording in progress.
All right. So it's going to be a big battle for the president to recapture the mountain the way it was, because it's been perceived that the deputy president has made several inroads, so to speak, in the mountain. But then a lot of disquiet still remained up there because the president never spoke. So do we expect people now to start shifting allegiance? Hamisi, to ask you that, to make sure that the mountain which was completely divided is brought together once again?
Yes, let me speak philosophically, yes and no. Depending on, because there are quite a number of from the mountain who are and being completely to hear what the president said. If he says, then those people will be doing exactly what the president did, and they're not true. So we are saying there will be quite a struggle, as the has said, from today's movement. You will see that into the Jubilee Party or outside the Jubilee Party, and that will affect the way we look at politics in the region. This mountain region is very important. Look at the voting capacity, even a quarter of the mountain direction. And people are looking at even 1/3 of the mountain. If it moved to one side, that side, than some people before. Yeah. But any position with the intention of numbers would not underestimate the mountain region. And can see it coming. And it's the only, if you look at the deputy president having come to there on time, there must be a reason why he sleeps in Meru, he goes to, he comes, people vote, and he has every right to do that. And if somebody else wants those votes, they have to do another strategy to undo what has been to happen. The way we see things, a lot of shifting, a lot of movement beginning from today. And again, politics is a very funny. One day if you were there before, like us, when you say Kibaki, it wasn't.
So let me come back to you, Daktari. From what you've seen, and it seems that there's a lot of expectation from the people down there in the mountain.
I think, Oloo, when you look at it, the legacy of His Excellency the President is backed on the success of his proposed candidate. You talk about the PPI that the President has actually been emphasizing so much for some time now. And you talk about this legacy, because the PPI carried a lot of weighty baggages,
yes,
which of course the President feels that Mount Kenya was going to benefit out of that. And also, he seems, by indication of his body language, he would still be a very key person or leader, either in Kenya or within Mount Kenya region. I mean, he will still be in the power base if his proposed candidate is going to win.
Yes.
And that is why a number of people have called Right Honorable Raila a lot of names. It is because of his position in the heart of His Excellency the President about the legacy that he has to leave behind. That this is the only person who will carry the promises or part of what he had pledged to the Republic of Kenya that he was going to do. Part of what will remain behind, the only person that he trusts to execute and to implement what he never implemented,
yes,
he is saying is Right Honorable Raila Odinga.
Yeah.
But you see, a lot of politics are very, that is why I look at Sakana meeting as exactly a do or die kind of meeting. Because if we will not make it, if the impact will not be felt after Sakana 3, it will be very, very, it will not really occur well, according to the plan of His Excellency the President, about this legacy come after the 2022. So in this case, but that aside, Oloo, Kenyans will have their position to take.
Yeah.
He's only talking to a section of Kenyans, that is Mount Kenya. And he will have to go around the Republic of Kenya to convince Kenyans that this is what I have, this is what I had for you. And the only person who will deliver the legacy that I've had all along is this man that I'm proposing.
Okay. Hamisi, let me just put it this way. Is this the moment that the Mount Kenya region has been waiting for?
Yes, my brother, because the Kenya region has been complaining for the last years. The president had not effectively implemented the area. That's why they were jittery for the last. But for the last 2.5 years, a lot of activities have been done on Kenya. So one of the things that I feel, or I believe, or some of us believe that he will do is to say, you were saying about infrastructure, look at this. So the presentation of what has been done for the last 2.5 years, or even a key to say, people who are complaining have been here. This is it. That is one. The other thing is, apart from the infrastructure business, and that will be of his legacy, he will also have to say, because people have already proposed, he's the party, say, please continue to be the party leader, and therefore we need to reinvent our party so that it has a position, in the next government. If you heard properly, the MP for Nyeri, he said, we must have as many MCAs, as many MPs, as many senators from this region in the party, so that we can have a say in the next government. So that is one rally. If Jubilee is going to be revamped, because somewhere said Jubilee was dead, but now he wants also to prove that it is not dead. And to prove that it's not dead is to wake it up. Like Kanu, many people thought Kanu was completely finished, but you can't rejuvenate parties. People die, but the parties die very hard. So that is the other thing. The other thing is to say now, in my position as a political leader of this Jubilee, is that you've given me mandate, and also according to the information, is going to be mandated to discuss with other parties to form a coalition. He will say the direction that I'm giving is we're going to discuss with so and so or this coalition for the future. So many things that the president has to do tomorrow, able to shape up the mountain.
Hamisi, in the past few weeks, the Jubilee is not.
It's seeming that the Jubilee was not dead, so to speak.
Yeah, it was just dormant. In technical language, we say it is dormant. Any party is a very vibrant leadership, but the leadership, the president was the president of this country. He had so many activities. The Jubilee was split because of the wrangles in the party, which I don't want to enter in. So we need to reshape it, to retile it, and say, no, we are not dead. We are alive, and we are live and kicking. We are coming. So I think that is the message we should go. If you look at the uniform that the last 3 or 4 days, I could see red, and I don't see the difference between Jubilee and Kanu now, as far as I'm concerned. And it's going to paint this country totally red. I don't know where Gideon is, because the uniform is the same.
Okay.
I'm talking political.
Colors are colors. Colors are colors. I think the most important thing here are the party symbols. But anyway, so before I give it back to Dr. So what is the fate of those people who had already defected to different parties, so to say UDA in the Mount region?
If I may comment on that one, there is a technical problem. I don't know, I've not read the law. The term will help us. If by Saturday or by Sunday, by Monday, Jubilee says these are the party members, and those who are not here are not our members, I don't know what will happen technically. Are they going to be, because they were sponsored by Jubilee, and if they are not in Jubilee, and then the other party, technically we need somebody to really look at it legally. Are they going to resign, or they are out of the party? Are they going to want to ask the people about the new party? So there are some challenges that are coming. See the English say.
All right, let's wait and see, as the English men said. Dr. So a lot of
down there,
activity will be happening down there. But most crucially is the president's announcement.
That is tomorrow. Sagana will happen today. He's meeting members of the public in Sagana State Lodge, in Nyeri State Lodge. But then on Friday and Saturday, NDC will take place, and thereafter a pronouncement will be made, and will be witnessing the signing of a pact between all those parties affiliated to the Azimio la Umoja. It seems that the president, people, all those legislators who are decamped from Jubilee are not welcome in this occasion. So what now will happen to them?
I think, Oloo, you must know that this is the time for resignation.
Yes.
I mean, people are actually generally moving away from the original parties. And I don't think there is any member of parliament who would wish to cling into a party that is not of his interest. They have already pronounced their positions, the parties that they will actually go into elective position with. And those who are in UDA, they are already decided a lot. And they will remain in UDA and reform their party.
Yes.
Those who will have remained in Jubilee will remain as members of the Jubilee, who will now actually manage the election that is ahead of us. So in this case, I think there is no big deal or technical hitch that will happen.
Yes.
Whether they will decamp or not decamp, we have no time. Because if it was, if we had a longer time, like 2 years, 1 year or so, some kind of by-elections were going to be done. But at this time, when people are resigning to go for election, nothing actually visibly can be done. What is going to happen is that people now will take position. And in this case, Oloo, in Mount Kenya as it is now, majority of the people, for His Excellency to undo the damages that the UDA has done, I mean by bringing Mount Kenya together and speaking the same language that you would prefer them to speak, it is going to be a difficult task, which it may not be achievable as at the moment. So in this case, I think, to me, as it is now, it is still a wishful thinking, because people have already taken positions. The only way that if the president now will go out to other parts of the Republic of Kenya, he will try to balance what he has lost in Mount Kenya in other places which are willing actually to pack up the pact of Right Honorable Raila Odinga. Because even as my friend is saying that he's not sure whom the president will actually support come the next election as far as the presidential race is concerned.
Yes.
But I think it is in public domain. The president will not change his mind. He will support this Right Honorable Raila Odinga. And even those people who are actually the conveners of the meeting, the president included, they have a lot of speculation now that the president is coming.
Yes.
He is going actually to give us a proper backup during the campaign process. And I'm very sure that a lot of resources will be used to make an upturn of the mindset that is already forming in Mount Kenya. Otherwise, it is not going to be a walkover. In this case, you have had Rikadhi, you have had Kachakwa, you have had Didi Nyoro, you have had all these guys. And I tell you, Oloo, during this battle of Jubilee, His Excellency the President lost a lot of foot soldiers in the persons of Rikadhi, in the persons of Ichungwa, in the persons of Kenyattas, in the person, all those people you can think of. These eloquent guys, they are not with him. The only person whom you can see talking loudly about issues to do in Mount Kenya are people like Kanini Keka, talk of Ngunjiri Omnyeri, and the likes. So he is yet to bring on board the people who will be vibrant, the people who will sell his idea The people will change the mindset of Mount Kenya people, which of course I can be very sure, Oloo, that it is going to be a very difficult task to achieve.
Okay. Hamisi, it's going to be a very difficult task to achieve. Do you agree with that?
Normally, in normal census and normal survey, normal analysis, I say yes and no. Because it's a very funny game. I say yes and no because if we hear Rigade, if we hear Chungwa, if we hear those, how about when we hear the other people? You have had Peter Kenneth, you have had the member of Parliament of Nyeri, you have had the governors that have spoken. So you need to balance. You need to balance all this. There is also another voice that we don't want to hear, but it is there also supporting the president. And some of them were Sabina Chege plus others saying, please, President, say something. We want to wear our boots. So there will be that. And also for us to say half of the mountain, somebody said 75% of the mountain has gone to UDA. How sure are we? Which data do we have? Which data are we using? And how was it? Because let's look at it technically and specifically.
Yes.
And data can change overnight. Still going back to situation where things were turned over like fire overnight, depending on which button, which strategy are we using, and which language are we using, a convincing language or otherwise. So there is room to be able to either go UDA, to go Jubilee, or to go other parties, because we can see other parties are coming from the mountain, like the Speaker of the National Assembly. So what are these other parties going to do? This is what we are waiting for.
Right.
It's going, in the next 1 month, the scenario will open. Now will be right. See happening, and it's going to be quite an interesting political event.
Okay. We only have 1 minute to take a break, but let me just ask you this question again, Hamisi.
Yes.
From where you sit, what do you think is going to come out from the State Lodge today?
One of the things that a number of things, but let me quickly say the number of things. One is the projects that the government in the region will be explained and also given weight. The other thing is that the people that have been called, what are they saying? What are they suggesting?
Yes.
Is the direction that the president is going to take to politically to give those people. And I can see there's a direction to give weight to the NDC, and also the NDC to give weight to the leader of the party to negotiate. So I think the next 3 days are critical. A lot of decisions will be made. Whether these decisions will hold water, we'll wait and see. But I think there's going to be a wave into the move towards what the president has said.
All right.
It's critical and it's coming. And I think he's serious about whatever position. He doesn't want to go under. If you look at today's nation, the Lemda King, this one he has to fight.
Yes, the nation says that.
Yes, this one he has to fight it. That I'm not Lemda. I was only resting. I'm now alive at the top.
All right, we'll discuss that, whether he's a Lemda King, all right, as you suggested here on the
as Dr. Rotich, and even you as a viewer, because we are just taking a break. Let me just sip my cup of tea. I have it here, and Dr. as well. We'll be right back.